Finland and Sweden and their desire to join NATO have demonstrated how much the world has changed since Russia's invasion of Ukraine on February 24th. For some 200 years, Sweden has had a policy of neutrality, longer than the Confederation of Swiss Cantons, longer than Switzerland. In fact, their position of neutrality dates back to 1812, when they lost territory to Russia as a result of the Napoleonic Wars. The fact that after 2 centuries of neutrality, Sweden has formally applied to join a military alliance reveals how much the world has changed in the last 3 months. And that should be a wake-up call for the government. The world has changed, but the government has been slow to react to that change. Russia's invasion of Ukraine makes it urgent that the Canadian government meet its 2% commitment to spend 2% of Canada's gross domestic product on our military. That's something they committed to before the most recent budget, something the most recent budget fails to deliver on. And our allies are increasingly making note of our failure to uphold our defense spending commitments. Just this past week, U.S. Ambassador to Canada David Cohen said, and I quote, "In the public discourse leading up to the release of the budget, the rhetoric from senior Canadian government officials implied that there would be a significant increase in defense spending," end quote. He added, quote, "It's fair to say that although $8 billion is more money, it was a little disappointing as matched against the rhetoric that we heard leading into the release of the budget," end quote. Finland and Sweden understand that the world has changed, and that's why they are urgently seeking to join NATO. Germany understands that the world has changed, which is why Chancellor Olaf Scholz, who heads a center-left coalition, announced on February 27th a dramatic U-turn in decades of German foreign and defense policy by immediately committing to increase German defense spending to well beyond 2% of gross domestic product, with an immediate commitment to spend $140 billion Canadian on German defense spending. Other NATO allies understand that the world has changed, but the government has not and has been slow to react.